Oh, probably turn the fan off. Alright, I am level 285. We just got here. Thanks to some of the Mechberry cards and stuff. I mean, I don't know why I've been so lazy to grind so far, but I'm just gonna. I guess I stopped myself from. That's why I came here, was to just see some of the exact number. It's not that interesting, but 1500 luck. So 200 luck went. So 1.1. So we finally just hit 1 trill boss range. That is not actually 1 trill boss range because of the event here. We have at least 10% boss damage and 40% boss damage. So that's 50% boss damage. I mean, the 20 all stat and the 10 weapon attack, I guess, from the last of these levels should suffice. Oh, I don't have. I mean, should keep me over 1 trillion, losing those two stats. So I guess that's 50% boss damage over. Maglue. I must go to the Meso market. Oh wow, that's pretty high. Okay, did I get, oh wait, yeah, I guess my range is slightly higher. Okay, so 109 exactly. So 110.9, so 1.9 in boss range. And that was 650, 180, so 500 exactly, pretty much. So 502, twos and 500s. I think I was at 992 before this. So 1014, and that's with 50% extra boss damage. This is 20%. 1015 we'll call it, because 180. So 1015 we're at 45. So 30. So 75. So we're at about 920. That's not bad. Over 900 is that's, I guess, really perfect. I'm happy with that. But I mean, that's with HP armor too. So if I was really pushing for the 1 trill, I mean, I would have done things slightly different. That's pretty okay, I guess. Pretty shocked here. Oh, that was one more left. So 1017 actually. It's pretty good. We'll call that even, yeah, 80 minus 920. 940? That's actually pretty good. The Destiny would be really close to 1 trill. Damn, that sucks. We'll find an upgrade. Oh, that's without a stat ring too, so. I mean, I guess the goal is to wear a level ring, a skill ring, and have 1 trill as well. I see a lot of classes over 1 trill with like meso armor. Like I seen a fire mage earlier. That was like 1.1. Maybe that was buffed a little more than I was seeing in the page, but that's pretty good. I'll go to. I just did get to Hexa. So my star damage is pretty much officially maxed. I mean, my throwing star barrage damage is not. But I guess I can get to Serum Potion. I'll just use free market potions here as well. I won't even really go to the boss. Well, I guess I will. Why not? I actually didn't. I did not. do this. So go to chaos. 9 minutes and 50 seconds. So notoriously, I was forgetting to add those potions in any of my calculations in the past. Not to forget, my familiars aren't very powerful either. So 1.16. And I guess we'll see what we can hit with a star here without Buster. 40s. Oh, continuous. So on continuous, it seems to be between 56 and 80. I'm thinking I was seeing 56, between 56 and 80 on Cont. Or I guess that might have been with some buffs. It might be just under 70, 71. So that's Buster. I don't think continuous actually just activated there. I guess the certain link skills throw you off. But over 40 build per star, so that's pretty good. That's 5 stars because quad throw +1. Or is that not? Is that even what happens here? Yeah, 1 additional. So 5 stars, really, it's not quad throw. My other skill's not really maxed. This is some barrage. We're at, oh, that's, I can't even really see the numbers. And you don't really know when everything activates. I saw a 75 anyway, without hitting Buster on it. Oh, there's Buster. Continuous. Just dropped. 70. Barrage is still active. 92. And Barrage just dropped. So I saw a 92 in the back. That's almost 100. I'm trying to think of where... Oh yeah, with the Barrage's final damage. So I guess I'll be barraging some 100 bill stars. We've already foreseen 20. That's pretty good, I guess. 500 and Shadow Partner makes it over 800. Almost 1 trill per... Wait, what does Throwing Star Barrage even do? I actually wasn't adding to how good that must have been compared to these skills up here. Does each line of Throwing Star Barrage hit them with a quad star? I don't understand what that is. That's a... Okay, wait. Oh, crap. Yeah, okay. I really was thinking Life and Death was going to do a lot. I've actually, on the lower bosses, the Deep Strike has been doing, like... Have I ran out of anything here? Actually, I was shooting, I think, here without sharp eyes on. Slow down for a second. 50s, so... Stop this guy here. Oh, I accidentally pressed my quad star early here by accident. I'm not getting the full DPS on this guy right now. And I'm no good at the game, so period. I'm going to miss every single second of this. That's what I was trying to explain. About the Ring of Restraint. Like, what could you really use it for? Doesn't get you far enough, in my opinion. Well, I missed quite a bit of quad throw there. I mean, quad throw barrage. Slightly too much to consider this a fair hearsay of what I can burst, but I figured I'd get this in here now. Yeah. I'm sure HP doesn't help at all, even though that looked like I didn't die. It was over 9,000. I survived. I should have hit my BOD and shot. So that was a really considerable boost since the last time I've tried this. And last time I wasn't getting. That's about 24%, and I fairly missed enough quad star to say 25, but really about 26. So we're just not gonna worry too much about that. Oh, I didn't even use my 2 deep strikes in that matter. So that wasn't even a buster deep strike. We'll buster this time. 72.9. That's not bad. 3% on a buster. So that'll actually end up doing like 9 or 8% for one of those. That's pretty good, I guess. I mean, you only get to use the 3 in the battle. Probably be best to save for phases where I guess this bar is the same as phases. So actually this is less, is it? Is it not? I don't know. It seems like it's going to be quite difficult no matter what, but obviously I'm not trying. Right? I'm not really even fully chipping, sorry. I'm just sort of trying to look at the damage a little more, but not even really. Sort of dozing off here at watching the percentage bar. Chip by at least 0.1s on the chip, so I was doing significantly less. That's for sure. It still seems like impossible. So are we going to now then use this Breath of Divinity? Oh, I didn't even use my guild skills. That is not a fair assessment. Holy crap. And our free market potions have all worn down. Are we going to go for another set then? And actually, yeah, that's the most interesting part. I'm sure nobody in the game would care about anything except for seeing my damage in this stage right now. No, the deep crit strike doesn't do very much. That's like 20% on one phase of Kalos. But I mean, obviously it helps a lot on some of the weaker bosses in like 5-seconding them or something. Just, I guess, well, maybe the new skill that's coming out should make it easy from there. I'm starting to see the damage range I'm in now with this armor. I don't want to say I'm dissatisfied, but I wish I was a tiny tad more powerful. Alright, so we're gonna do a little bit better here. We'll pretty much burst all at once. We'll use the strikes too, even though this is... That's off my buster to start the barrage, but maybe I should just do it anyway. Yeah, for the sake of it, I just wasted like 15 seconds there, but... So to not barrage on buster at all, instead of... I didn't need to pop the cooldown skill, to be honest, because I shouldn't really be using it on this phase. So I guess that's sort of out of the damage calc, and we know that's about 10%, so... I didn't pop my familiars, for fuck's sakes. My familiars are off. And that's like a more percentage than... That's not that bad. I have enough time with the potions to try once more. Good thing I noticed. Also because I don't want to use my free market skill. My free market skill might triple attack. Because it's not really phase 1 burst. So I don't know how I read this post. I think I have 21 attack in my inner ability, and I have not moved to buff duration for my Nightlord class specifically. Am I wrong on this? I am not sure at all. So my life and death has just ran out about 3 seconds ago. So we did get 27% without using the... We'll use it now, I guess, and tag it. We did chip for a second there. So I guess the entire burst is about there. That's pretty good. But, I mean, I think the Throwing Star Barrage and... well, are we fair to... Yeah, 17 more in that. Hexa should honestly almost take that down to 50%. Although those are not significant blasts, because I guess 10% in the next phases would be a lot more useful to like hit it off the end when you're stuck chipping and stuff. So I guess I might be able to do this, but it's pretty hard. I mean, I know I am not even doing my next burst. I should be actually putting the effort in right now to fight this boss. Oh my god, why is this always happening? Like, I just got froze as soon as I popped my barrage. It's gonna be impossible. I think that I'd love the changes that I proposed to the game to happen, in all honesty. Being every class reach 100% final damage in the stat page. So every class gaining like 40% final damage. So from 63, that would be fine. I guess then requiring a Genesis weapon to get to 100 from like 97 or whatever for most classes. I guess as well at level 29, I mean up until level 295, Kalos could get a little bit easier per level. I do believe, is it 1% final damage, how that works, or is there a multiplier to it for it to be slightly more or less? I'm not 100% sure. I would like to know, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I can't wait to see how much of a difference. Throw blasting's not going to do much, and barrage can do enough, I guess. I'm assuming that I'll be around 55% without using the deep strike from the first round of the cooldown, and then it's the exact timing I was seeing a long time ago, that you have to hit it perfectly. I guess there really isn't much in between, and I guess the deep strike doing enough based upon how I'm probably a worse player than the average 3-month attempts of... I don't even know if I could hop to not get stunned half the time. I guess I got hit there and just would have had to move to the side, but I'm on mobile internet, right? So even that, the reaction time of pressing the key might not ever be enough to hop. It seems like I'm hitting it fast enough, but there's too much millisecond stuff. I may be able to do it, I hope, anyway. So that might be enough to regain the cooldown. To beat phase 1, so I'd go from killing that to cooldown to 6-minuting the first bar, and then I'd almost have only 3 bars left. I'd take at least 1 out barraging. Or is it? No, it's harder than that. I don't see how it's even possible. Maybe it's gonna be easy. Anyways, that's my damage. Somebody seeing my damage will know how easy it'll be with barrage. I guess that's gonna. I've seen hundreds on deep strike, so I guess that's 200s being at double the levels, and it pretty much ends up, I believe, hitting 10,000 instead of 4,200. So that's nice. And I think we were seeing throwing star barrage past 100 bill stars, so I guess that's pretty end game, even though I mean, passing 100 bills without even these final stars and the tiny little bit of upgrades I can get is pretty good. I mean, like, seeing that scrolls that'll eventually take the equipment to 26 stars but be too expensive to really want to use. I'm just hoping I can hit the I don't know, the time limit. I just think the game needs some rebalancing. So the rebalancing I would go through for this class is the fact that we get only 5% critical damage for the original projectile class of 50%. I mean, all projectile classes are missing a large percentage of crit damage. A very large percent. I mean, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. Like, it's just too little. Like, that's 5 instead of, like, 45. If nothing else, like, realistically, for a projectile class. The arrows, the stars don't fly strictly enough for the projectile to be justified. The warriors are attacking from backwards and everything, but anyways, that doesn't bother me that much. It was mainly how some classes have attack percentage. Like 29% final damage might as well be 59%. Literally. Putting us at like 93 there and then like 10 in the back somewhere. 10%, like 40% crit damage and 10% final damage. Anyways, attack power 30%. 30. That could be attack power 30%. Instead of 30, the number. And that would give us like because Nightlords have, any class, I voted that all classes get balanced this way. 10% boss damage and 30% and plus 30 attack. That can be another attack percentage like most classes have that are newly crafted. So I pretty much vote that just every class ends up replacing anything with attack power or magic to balance out to 50% of the respective class's attack. So like 50% magic attack in like all mages between these skills. And then like also the final damage that pushes us beyond 100%. Because with attack power being rough, like the max value you can gain is about 200%. It's like 220, but we'll call it 200 flat. Well, it's like 250, I guess, but you're not going to really try to aim past like 210. So you would basically going to average on falling under 210. And 50% attack in the classes, specifically Nightlord not having any, is it's only 25% of what you can gain in total, and they're pretty hard to gain. Like some classes never get any attack power. I mean, you get it from the Mitra, but 30%, and then your weapon falling on 2-line, 3-line boss, and the average player doesn't get to see any of it. And for an end game player, it's really only like 20%. So to get 20%, oh, really like 25, 30 if it was 50% per class. Like most classes do end up in one buff. Like some of the mage class for int, like their magic attack is just 50% in there out of nowhere. So like every class should just end up getting it. So like the beginning players could even get the grasp on what attack percent does, because like most players don't even get to 100%, and then you end up with one thing that changes the whole game for you by the time you know what a sub weapon does instead of 3-line boss on the top and like one attack power line, say. So like let's say you don't get a 2-line attack in like 200 event cubes, karma cubes. That's almost like 3 years for an average player, and it will take on average that long to see 2-line attack on a sub weapon, and that's only one of 3 realistically. So for like people to miss too much, I think that is like the lack of balancing that every class has is their respective attack percentage, and final damage doesn't do anything to low damage. I mean, me having high damage makes it seem like I want that to happen indefinitely, and I do, because it's slightly annoying to see that low of final damage personally. I think it would be easy on the eyes as well. Just go to some mushrooms here to see some of the base damage. I guess there's some normal damage multipliers. What's mine at? Only 14%, so I'm actually low on that here. Just to balance out ranting in one spot. I mean, I think that's... The armor's pretty good. They're releasing some... They went with a mid-tier boss, right? Malefic Star. And then even a high-level boss now with Jupiter, so... I think more players could get close with just those free-to-play challenges. With the balancing that I'm suggesting now is that most classes are nearly only missing their respective attack percentage in 1 to 4th job skills, and basically just 100% final damage does nothing or a lot for highly invested players. So it's like, what's the final damage on this would be like, I don't really know how it works, really. Is that 40% being, so 40% of 25 is about 10. So would that be 35s? That's not that big of a difference. For a highly invested player, it's a lot because it's 10 bills, like 10 bill a line, but for that to only be like 2 or 3 billion a line for even like quite lucky players, it's not really enough compared to what the boss's healths are. So I think it's not... It seems like it's a lot, but I think it's an underwhelming change for the free-to-play players with the respective attack percentage. So players can watch, like, their stats increase their... because with a low luck percentage, like, your gear is going to be very low in potential. So the stats, like, you get 100 attack power. I mean, you don't even get attack power until 20 stars. So none of those big things make any sense to any of the classes because you don't get your attack power lines. They're too rare. I mean, they're rare enough, right? They're rare for the life of the game to have a 3-year... I mean, to use event coupons and stuff, you're looking at a 5-10 year time period, right? To not waste very much time. and you're still going to have to grind the 1,000 hours. Are they going to save much more time between level 300? I doubt it. The 2,000 or so hours, I don't think will go far below like 1,000. So I doubt they'll really have the time to 300 from here. I'd believe that the low level balancing changes would be really good, and the thing, I don't think it changes anything enough. I think it just helps the high level players beat the bosses and some of the people with enough 5 and 6 line gear to realize that it is good enough. Like, you can't realize the power of the armor when you're barely beating Kalos at fucking the best you can possibly be. I mean, maybe it'll be, I don't know. I'll get there. But I hope this is, I'm going to check the length of this now and hope it's not too long. But I believe that they brought some perfect balancing changes. I, in fact, did 100% succession this. My pitch boss in the new Star Force. I want to say, I can't remember. I want to say the exact cost. Yeah, because you can't safeguard here. I don't remember how much it was. I think it costed me a little. I don't think it took me 12 taps each. I don't think it took me 36 taps. But I think it was like 13, 7, and like 5. So I think I got lucky on it. Or it was like 13, 7, and 9 or something. So it was pretty good, I guess to say. Which was like 50 bill. So enough. That's not bad though, 15 bill a star, but that's only for the 22nd star from 21. That's a lot. Like, to reflect on the cost of seemingly getting lucky, it's still more than the auction house typically will get you. So, I mean, the auction house will seem slightly cheaper on that star to hit where you're comfortable. I guess I haven't really went through the auction house very much, but that's I just hope my proposed changes get through to the game, because that's like almost the end of free to play, really. Not the end, I meant yeah, the end, I guess. You may be able to grind level 300 with like an X level potential, so like unique scrolls and karma cubes. If you like get 2-line legendary in each slot with your like maybe 3-line epic bonus, because that's like 2-line unique. 3-line epic bonus is not horrible, especially when you get 11 attack power. 11 attack power in epic bonus or something, like you get 3-line attack power. I'm trying to think of what that even adds out to. 21 luck in here is roughly 2.5%. And 11 attack power is, so 11 attack power is almost like 3.5% for an endgame player. So that's almost 10% bonus on epic. I mean, these are only 14s for on average. 16 for eternal, plus if you get your 3rd line. And like a lot of the time it'll be all stat and you'll miss a percentage. So I mean, attack lines and buffed attack in epic could almost be enough to like grind 300. I don't know. It would be pretty. It would really make it as free as it can be and really buff the hardcore armor good enough. Like, I can't even picture this being enough to, like, I don't know. Would anybody really want me on this with 1 trill boss range? That's the end of the story. Is it enough for the new boss? I don't know. If every class got the proposed changes from me, 35% damage increase. So if 1 trill was right, that's actually it seems like a lot. But I mean, Jupiter seems to be already like the best. The best example of probably like this gear not being enough as like way too much money to think free to play grinding isn't worth adding that the changes for like a one bow like you can't really get one bow combat on a Nightlord, but I guess you can. I think it'd be really cool right there. I'm enjoying the Nightlord though, but I guess watching another class hit C Kalos fucking twice as hard would probably just piss me off, so I'm not going to watch too many of those for now. I'll just hope, because rebalancing the skills for every class from there, they change a lot of skill damage, so if they just change the skill damage after adding the base percentages like that don't affect uh, non-invested players very much, but give them a chance to see what their equipment is doing as they start a lot better. The mesos being the focus of the cost of the equipment and the legendary lines not doing enough for their odds versus the amount you'll be able to get through the game to just level up. I think it would make it fair, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I think balancing every class with the base percentages is necessary. I just don't see how the game's going without it. Nerf skill damages slightly from there. I mean, it can only increase final damages by about. It can't double any class's damage, but it could double a lot without. Well, holy crap, that would actually change a lot of boss lines in weapons. To be honest, that would value boss lines quite a bit. Already having a high attack percentage. Maybe it could double some classes' damage, but I think that would only put the class into the game with their gear set. And I don't think using the entire time limit on the bosses is as necessary as they're holding it. They seem to be breaking past that point where they want it to seem like you have to race down to the last second with the max armor. Like 25 stars should finish your quest. And they've sort of left 22 star where it was nearly impossible to get 23 at not enough to do anything right until now. So I think they should make the 22 star armor that was at one point literally doing nothing. We can't forget that at 22 star we were almost getting nowhere with 5 lines. Like, that's what I feel like is for the Nightlord. It gets nowhere. 5.5 lines, 5 line, and then it's not enough. So I think the base damages for all classes is fine. and skill damage changes from there are just recommendable, pretty much. Like, the obvious will happen. Certain classes being stronger aren't problems. I mean, every class functioning is the problem, and some classes needing a little too much. It's not really an investment, it's just impossible odds of equipment. Impossible equipment odds are just like, it's not cool enough for grinding to level 300 to be free and then Destiny Live to be impossible. I mean, I'm gonna do it, I'm sure, without the changes, but I think it should. I think you should be able to casually try to survive Kalos with like 5 or 10 minutes of downtime instead of like rush to the last second. That's just what I'm. That's the way I feel about it. Because I feel like it's still the last second, and it's too much compared to how easily you can grind to level 300. I don't want it to be that much harder. I mean, in the damage you can achieve, and then it's just like a dead grind. Sort of too hard to do for some. I mean, I guess it's motivating when you're boss, like when you have the gear to kill bosses, to level up. And now I'm just rambling forever, but I feel like the game needs that. So it'd almost be a perfect game where it is, with some overpowered, being more overpowered than the boss again finally, compared to every class being too underpowered compared to any boss. It's like every boss was OP, and then at least you finally get to beat the boss. And it would take changes that large, so. And changing the skills too much is just ridiculous. They do too much of it without enough base. Without they could just, it would just widely just balance everything, and then make everything easier to balance. Just because of it's just the ultimate stuff that's missing in my opinion. Because like Mystic Potential and stuff from like the Idle RPG that they're saying, they don't really plan on using that anytime soon, but I think they should hold off for a while and just buff it from the base for all players while they're doing it. I mean, the meso starring is quite a bit, and it's hard to get the mesos while grinding, so it takes a long time. But I guess you would eventually get enough running dailies to finally get it. I mean, yeah, it takes the base changes because I just wish I could be the person deciding on it. Huh. But there we go. I guess that was the journey to level 285 to see the damage range. Get that down one more time. 10-20. I don't know where the buff came from for the 20. Because I thought it was 10-17 for some reason. Oh, that was in the MVP sauna without my pets. I guess that's why. So, there I have it. 1 Trill boss range Nightlord, and not even close to pro enough to kill Chaos Kalos and Destiny Live, and prove that I'm a fail Maplestory player, because nobody would have the armor to kill that boss without being able to be pro enough to. And I just think that it's necessary that my point got across. of how to buff the game from myself, because I never said it to anyone. I said it to my guild and stuff. But you know, saying that in text in a guild chat for a second isn't ever gonna get across. So figured I'd beg, you know, for everybody, for the sake of all players. Like, we need that gigantic damage increase, and for nothing else to get harder currently. But that's pretty much the end of this, because I just rant and rant for nothing, literally.